In this video, I'm going to show you how Dean was able to generate $14,000 in revenue for the first ever client that he signed for his agency. Would you be surprised if I told you Dean knew little to nothing about the industry that his client was in? He's never worked with anyone before. He's not a tech savvy person and he doesn't have some sort of magical skill set that puts him way further than you. Is he has no competitive advantage whatsoever. He actually generated his client $14,000 in the first month of working with them, and he was worried about that. He was worried about that because he had only booked his client 2 appointments, but those 2 appointments equaled in $14,000 of revenue. You see, volume doesn't necessarily mean quality. Volume doesn't necessarily mean your client makes more. On average, I generate around 3 to 4 appointments a month for my clients that I am servicing within my own agency. I don't need to bring them 10, 20, 30 leads a month because I'm working with businesses that charge super high ticket, meaning if I bring them even 1 customer a month, that 1 customer a month is worth $7,000 in most cases. That means people like me and Dean can go and generate our clients 1 or 2 appointments a month, and our clients are over the moon about it. One of the easiest ways for you to go and generate new customers for the clients that you are working with is through Facebook ads. The problem is 99% of people have no idea how to correctly run a mechanism that converts a complete stranger into someone that pays thousands of dollars. The ad is just one very small step in the journey. If you're watching this video without having watched any of my previous content before, then what I need you to do is go and watch these 2 videos, which I'm going to tag in that description below, which breaks down to you exactly how you can launch ads for your clients and basically make it impossible for that ad not to get your client a result. A lot of people have that fear of, if I spend someone else's money, I need to justify being able to get them a result, right? Dean was super anxious. He had only generated his client 2 appointments, and he thought that was a bad thing. But when we look at it from a wider perspective, those 2 appointments equated in $14,000 worth of revenue. After the client pays Dean off and pays for the ads, the client was walking away with a 700% return on investment. And Dean was anxious about that. He thought his client wouldn't be happy with that. If you want to see how you can work with amazing clients that pay you thousands of dollars every month, who only need 1 or 2 customers in order for them to be happy, watch this video.
Yeah, so I mean, we haven't really covered much of the actual ad stuff, have we? We haven't done we were going to go over the retargeting stuff. And things like that, and I just feel like I'm a bit in the dark about that part of it right now,
right?
Because I'm not a meta ads guru. I don't know enough about it. Do I need to go off and do some more training? What do I need to do to? Is it? I just wanted to ask you those questions because I need to know more about it and how to tweak it and what to look for and. Have I even got the columns set up right inside Meta Ad Manager, and what am I looking for, and which one's important, click-through rate, cost per click, all of that sort of stuff. I don't know what it means and what I should be looking for. So kind of pissing in the wind a little bit with that.
Yeah, and we're going to get into a little bit more detail with that. One thing I don't want for you to do though, right, is to get into tweaker mode. Now, what tweaker mode is, I mentioned this a little bit on our last call as well, is like where you open up the ads manager and you're kind of just staring at it and you don't know what, like you just want to play around with something because it's been a few days and, nothing's happened in the last few days. What we need to understand as well is the perspective. And I mentioned this on the message, right? If we are paying right now $100 or so for a lead, that is a very good cost that we are paying to acquire a lead. Now, the cost to acquire an appointment, you're paying anywhere from $450 to $500, right? Again, put it into perspective. You're paying $500 to get in someone who's genuinely qualified, who knows your client, likes your client, trusts your client, has the money to work with your client, right? And is ready to move within the next 90 days. You're paying $500 to acquire someone who could potentially turn into a 7K opportunity. When we look at it from the perspective side of things, you are paying right now your bank average, like your campaigns are not underperforming. In terms of what you should and you shouldn't be doing, I'm going to provide a little bit more clarity with that here today. In terms of, obviously, there are things that you need to understand what's going on inside of the ads manager, what you should be playing around with, what you shouldn't. And I guess the first thing let's look at, right, is if you share your screen with me. Cool. So over here, right, you asked like, how should I set up the columns? How should I do this? How should I do that? Now, essentially, right, instead of there are many different things that we can look at over here. Click-through rate, hook rate, X, Y, and Z. In my opinion, not all of these things are vanity metrics. You do not care about the click-through rate. You do not care about the engagement rate. You do not care about, website landing page views. These things are vanity metrics. The only thing that matters to us is genuinely cost per lead and cost per appointment. Those are the only two things that matter to us. Now, before we look at those two things, right, you had some concerns about, look, it's been a couple of days and nothing's happened. Well, we need to understand the context of what's actually, over the last 3 or 4 days, you said nothing's happened. I want you to change the filter now in the top right, change it to the period where you did not get a result. So you can do the last 7 days, for example. Just do the last 7 days. Cool. Now, on the right-hand side, you see where it says leads?
Yeah.
Click on that so it shows you from the top down the leads. Okay, cool. So now we can see, Dean, right, that you do have a throughput coming through. You do have leads coming through. In the last 7 days, you've got 3 people who have come in through the door. How much money have you spent over the last 7 days? Click on the campaign view so I can see it on the campaign level. Okay, in the last 7 days, you've spent, where is it?
$461.
1.09, right? If we break that down, that means you're paying 461.09. You're paying about $150 per lead, $153 per lead, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with paying $153 per lead. That's a good conversion rate. Now, from those 3 leads that came through, how many of them booked?
2.
Okay, and were they from phone calls that you were doing?
Yes.
Okay, so both of them booked from phone calls, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So now let's put this into perspective again. So now you've paid 461.09. You got 2 calls booked, right? You're paying $230 per appointment. That's amazing. What am I missing here, Dean? So what we need to look at is the perspective, right? Now, again, there are still some things that we need to understand, like what should we turn off? How should we optimize this further? X, Y, and Z. But you said, right, over the last couple of days, you didn't get a result. What has been the concern? Like, what's been the thing that's been bothering you? Because the way I think
what it is that you can see, like this guy started with me on the 2nd of May. We're now on the 19th. The 17 days in, and we've booked 2 appointments. Is
this the free trial guy? I thought this is your existing client.
No, this is an existing client. Yeah.
But you already booked an appointment for him on the free trial, no?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So in the totality of you working with him, how many actual leads have you brought him? Not appointments, leads.
Let me take a look. Hold on.
You brought him 4 in the totality of working with him, right?
Yeah.
And
4 leads, yeah.
Okay, 4 leads, and you've booked him 2 appointments, right?
Yes.
And these 2 appointments are only appointments that have occurred in the last 2 days, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do is look at it from this point of view. It's been 17 days that you said you've worked with him, okay? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the space of 17 days, you've brought him 2 genuine opportunities that are worth 7K each. That's a 14K pipeline in the space of 17 days. How much is this guy spending a day on ads?
$75.
Okay, $75. Right now, let's take a look at his actual, scroll to the left, please, Dean. So in the totality of him working with you, he spent $982, right? In the totality of him working with you, cool. He spent $982. You've booked him 2 appointments, right? Let's focus on leads for now. You got him 4 leads. The cost per lead right now is $245. In terms of appointments, you've booked him 900 and what is that? 62 or 82?
982, 94, yeah.
Your book again, it's the average, bang average, $491 per appointment. In the last 7 days, obviously, you've booked them. You booked them a majority of the appointments. But I guess this is the problem, Dean. What did you expect? Like you said, in the last 17 days, you've only got him 2 appointments. But what is the actual expectation? Because what are you comparing this to? Is I guess what I'm getting at. What did happen?
That's a good question. That's a good question because I don't really have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
But I just thought that it would do more by now. I just thought that $75 a day, and I just thought it would have done more by now.
Let's put this into perspective, Dean. You spending $75 a day, right? You spending $75 a day is someone's testing budget. For one ad set. This guy's spending $75. He spent $982 to acquire 2 appointments. That's amazing. Do you know the amount of ROI that you've generated him? If
they go ahead and buy.
Yeah, of course. And he has the responsibility of actually trying to close that deal, of course. I'm not saying like you just bring him anybody's and everybody's. Ultimately, when you picked up the phone and you called these people, you made sure they were qualified, right?
Well, yeah, they were. I went through the survey questions with them again just to make sure that what they'd answered is
cool.
Yeah.
So when you booked that call, you did everything in your influence. You did everything in your power, Dean, to make sure that when they actually show up in front of your client, they are actually qualified financially, they have an intent, and that they're ready to move within the next 90 days, right?
Yeah.
Your influence ends at that point, Dean. And that's what I was saying to you at the start. When you work with these clients, you need to set the expectation very, very clearly. Your influence ends at that point. The point you hand that client off to your client, right? The point you hand that lead off to your client, your influence ends. You can't close the deal for them. Now, let's just assume, right? Let's just assume he closes one of them. Even if he closes one of them, he spent $982 to get one $7,000 opportunity. Do you know what the ROI on that is? If this was an investment portfolio, this guy he's made well over 700%.
Yeah.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So we need to put it into perspective, Dean. Right now, I understand. Look, you don't have something to compare it against. You don't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm new to it, right? So it's like it's scary. I'm sitting here seeing this going up to $1,000 because $1,000 is not a lot of money, but it, to someone like me, that is, right? So,
but to him, it's not. And that's the problem. You're projecting your beliefs onto him. You're projecting your beliefs onto him.
Well, I'm not having these conversations with him. I'm not doubting it to him. Of course I'm not. I'm not doing that. But it's in my mind. I'm sitting there thinking, right, I spent $1,000 and I've only got like a couple of appointments.
But let me break it down to you like this, Dean. You see that way of thinking, that's like in a way self-sabotage. And I get it, like you're not used to this specific side of things. Yeah. I'm telling you, $75 a day is genuinely nothing. Like let's actually get the projections in, right? There's really not a lot you can do. Like right now, the campaigns have started to convert, but right now, Meta is in a very good position. Meta basically now has the data to say, these 2 people booked a call. Let me go and find more people like these 2 people. Technically, we are in a better position today, Dean, than we were in when we first started running these campaigns 17 days ago. Maybe we should change the conversion event of this campaign to be from booked appointments to leads, because we know, like, you are confident enough to know that your setting process is dialed in, meaning you can optimize the event to be leads instead of book appointments, because when a lead comes in, you are confident enough to pick up the phone and convert them anyways. So if we tell Meta, hey, bring us more people like these 4 people who filled out the survey, that doesn't mean that we're going to get lesser quality leads coming in. It means that we're just going to find more people like those 2 surveys that actually booked. Or that's all that it means. It's going to find more people like those 2 surveys that booked and bring us more people like that who actually fill out the survey. Because remember, having it optimized to them actually booking a call is a very long sales cycle. Like there's a lot of friction involved in that. You're seeing it right now. People will fill out the survey, but they drop off when it comes to actually booking an appointment.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, they're filling out a survey, but then the next screen's literally right there with the calendar. Get in now, and they don't.
Yeah, because think of it like this, Dean. When was the last time you saw an image ad, for example? When was the last time you saw an image ad? You filled out an entire survey and then you booked a call with a complete stranger who you've never spoken to on the phone, who you don't know yet, you don't like them yet, you don't trust them yet, and you just you book a call with them and they expect you to hand over like $7,000. It's not realistic because you've never done it. The reason why what you're doing is working right now is because it includes that human element. Because when you pick up the phone and you call them, they're like, okay, this is a legit company. I do remember filling out the survey. Like these guys, it doesn't mean they're bad quality leads because they're not booking a call. That's not what it means whatsoever. It just means, right, that they need that human touch. Remember, who is likely someone that's filling this survey out? It's a homeowner. Right? How old is this homeowner? We've got our ads set up to target people over 25, right? Yeah. So these people are likely, 30 plus on average. These people are the older demographic. They aren't they like the old school stuff. They want people phoning them. They want to have a conversation with the company that they work with. Just because they came in from a Facebook ad, Dean, and they don't book a call does not mean that they're a bad quality lead. Sometimes they just need that kick up the arse to actually book into our calendar, right? And that's why, because what you've told me right now makes sense. People are filling out the survey, so I'm not seeing a bottleneck on that part whatsoever. The ads are doing the job that they're supposed to do. The survey is doing the job that it's supposed to do. You're still getting people coming in through the process. That's not a problem whatsoever. The problem, right, is probably that our setting process needs to be dialed in a little bit more, where people aren't as warmed up to actually booking a call immediately after going through an ad. It's like, how long have they known you when they click on this ad? They've known you in the space of 2 minutes. They've known you for 2 minutes. And now asking someone that's known you for 2 minutes to commit 45 minutes to an hour of their time, where you are literally just going to be selling them a home generator or an installation, it's not very realistic, is it, Dean? No, we need to put it into perspective. Right. And now when we start looking at it from this lens, it's like we are marketers. We need to understand what these people are thinking on the other side of the screen. Because when they click that ad, they still don't know who we are. It's an image. That image, you're using that same image for 20 other clients, right? Like they could see that ad and be like, okay, they'll click on the ad. Then they'll go through the questions. Okay, blah, blah, blah. At that point of time, Dean, they're just curious. They're just browsing around. Yeah, they might fill out a survey, which means obviously they're still qualified. They still have an intent, because someone who doesn't have an intent, someone who's not qualified, is not going to go through that entire process. But because they have an intent, number one, they are qualified. Yes, they're curious. They just need that final, that last 20% to get them across the finishing line. And that's what you are there for. You literally proved it, because you're picking up the phone, calling these guys right now, and it's working.
Filled me with a lot more confidence. I know I can understand what you're saying.
Right now, you are on the right track. You are getting good results for this person. Good results for this person. Like very good results for this person. You spent $982 to get 2 appointments booked that each are worth $7,000. Even in the worst case scenario, the dude closes one of them, you've got him a 700% return. If you were a hedge fund manager, this guy would be kissing the soles of your feet and throwing his entire bank account at you. That's how good the return is that we've got him. And that's the whole point of meta ads. It gives us that predictability. Now, again, I also want you to understand, okay, what happens if we continue on this rate? If you continue spending $75 a day, right, where your average right now is $491 to book an appointment, you need to spend $491 you need to spend $491, to get an appointment. So if I divide that by 75, every 6 days you'll be getting an appointment. Do you see how now we're putting that into perspective? What I've done is I've taken your cost per appointment. Your cost per appointment is $491, right? You're spending $75 a day. I done 491 divided by 75, which is your daily budget. It's going to take you 6.5 days to get one appointment booked. Now can you see the bigger picture, Dean? Now, when we look at it, it's like, do you, okay, so you can say, okay, it's been a couple of days, I haven't got a result, but like you're only spending enough to get him a result every 6 days or so. So right now, when we're looking at it, everything is lining up. This is the data, right? We have to look at things for what the data says. We can't allow emotions to get involved in this. If, right, your client is happy to bump up to 100, let's see how that changes things. Let's see how that changes things. If your client's happy to bump up to $100 a day, we go from 491 divide 100. It's going to take you 4 days, every 4 days to get him a result. Now, in the grand scheme of things, right, let's say every month, if it takes you 6 days to get him a result, 30 divided 6, you're going to get him around 5 appointments a month, right? If you take 4 days to get him a result, you're going to get him 7 to 8 appointments a month. And that one or two, it might not seem like a lot to you because you're thinking, oh, it's just an appointment. But to him, one appointment, again, remember, is worth $7,000, right?
Yeah.
So again, we need to look at it for what it is with the data. And again, with the service delivery, don't worry about this. Like, I've got your back. We're going to go so deep into service delivery, into the ad side of things. But right now, it's just kind of, honestly, it's analysis paralysis. You don't really need to be doing a lot. Like, you're doing very well. Your campaigns are doing well. In terms of the main thing, I guess, is going to be like the ads itself, knowing like, and now looking at the ads from a perspective where you understand it. Does it all make sense, Dean?
Yes.
You're going to
100%. Yeah. 100 from what you said and the perspective you put on it. Yeah, definitely makes sense.
Perfect. So on right now, and you need to explain it to your client as well, manage the expectation, make it easy for yourself, right? I always say this to you, make it easy for yourself. Don't make it difficult for yourself. If you are going with these crazy promises, I'm going to bring you 30 appointments in a month. That's hard for you to do. The whole reason why we chose the home generator install space was in the worst case scenario where you only bring in one appointment a month, he's still able to be profitable. That's the whole reason why we chose this space. So don't go against yourself now. Don't conflict against yourself as to the whole reason why we started in this space. We started in this space to make it easy for ourselves because we know even if we get them one appointment every 6 days, even if we get them one appointment every week, that's 4 appointments a month. But that's still enough to keep him happy. But your job is easy, right? That's the whole reason why we chose this space, to make your life easy. Now, if he turns out to be a client that wants to go super aggressive, then you need to break it down to him the same way that I just broke it down to you here today. Look, I got no problem going aggressive, but I'm not going to get there with $75 budget a day. It doesn't work that way. Facebook is a predictability machine. I can literally sit in front of you right now and show you, you've spent $980. I booked you 2 appointments. Our cost per appointment right now is $491. Well, if we keep that same cost per appointment and we continue spending $75 a day, it's going to take me 6 days to book you an appointment. If you want an appointment every single day, then do you want to spend $490 every single day? Because that's how much it costs me to get you an appointment. Right? And that's how you need to break it down to him. So realistically, manage that expectation, make it easy for yourself, right? You now have an understanding of what this looks like for your first live client. Every client that you work with after that, let's just assume for now that it's going to be somewhat similar to the results that we're getting for this client. And that way, from day one, you should be managing your client's expectation very clearly. And you're probably putting more pressure on yourself than this guy's putting on you. Right? This guy's probably not putting any pressure on you at all because he understands, look, one job to me is worth $7,000. This dude's already brought me 2 opportunities in the space of 17 days. And you're putting pressure on yourself to believe that you're not getting him a good result when that's amazing. Like, you've got him a 700% return. And that's in the case where you only close one zone, where he only closes one of them. Right? So you're doing great. Right? Don't allow these like negative thoughts to get in. I understand it. It's scary, right? You're managing someone else's money. You've spent nearly $1,000. Like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know if it's working. You don't know if you turn something off. It's kind of like that control freak inside you comes out, right? What can I do to solve it? What can I do to, make this better? What can I do to make the campaigns perform better? But we're in a good position right now. And we just need to honestly, just continue doing what we're doing already right now. Right? Get on those 2 leads up who haven't booked an appointment yet. Continuously try to call them. Don't just call them one time. Every single day, try call them. Call them at different times.
Now, you have just seen an actual coaching call that I done with Dean, where he was able to generate 2 customers in less than 30 days for his first ever client that he had ever worked with. Bearing in mind, this guy had barely taken any sales calls in the past. He had never run ads for anyone before. He barely had a clue what he was doing when he started working with us. Some of you will look at this, try to piece together everything yourself, run around like a headless chicken, and try to figure it all out on your own. But the reason why Dean was successful is because he had something you do not have. He had access to the support, he had access to the guidance, and more importantly than all of that, he had a very clear-cut process that he could follow. He had someone in his corner telling him, hey, do this, then do this, then do this. There was a very clear game plan for him to follow in order for him to be successful. Most of you are watching free content, trying to piece together things by yourself, and wondering why nothing's working out. If free content was the answer to everything, you'd probably have a ton of clients by now. But you don't. Because you have no one in your corner telling you exactly what you need to do, you have no clarity, and you have no direction. You're literally doing random things every day, hoping and praying for the best. If you want to partner with me directly and get access to my executive team that is managing an agency right now where we've signed well over 100 clients, click that first link below and book a call with me. If you're not going to do that, if you're going to continue watching this stuff, hoping that free content somehow changes everything for you, the least you could do is click the second link and join my free school.